You know, I never thought I would talk about on this show the fact of backlash over Call of Duty logos, but yet here we are. There's a lot of things out there I never thought I'd make videos on, and I do that as well. What is up, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to more esports talk. Today we talk about the backlash around Call of Duty logos. In specific, that's the one that Hector had a hand in designing. He actually was talking to a designer about his vision for this logo. That's NRG Chicago Huntsman logo, which people seem to be a general consensus out there. A lot of people disappointed or let down or underwhelmed by this logo, and I think it draws the question, why do we care so much about these logos? I'm going to preface with obviously Hector's history, why I think the logo, to me, it seems pretty cool and cooler than a lot of the other Call of Duty logos out there. Let's preface with this, by the way. Let's look at the Call of Duty League logo. It's 3 bars that are supposed to be a spiral staircase. Why are we setting our standards so high? Obviously, when it comes to the logos Hector has had some sort of involvement in, I don't think he had a hand in the OpTic logo. I believe the original one, I think he points out, was actually made by Diesel. We look at the Houston Outlaws. I believe he approved that design. He didn't have a hand in making it. It's, I think, one of the better ones in Overwatch history, that logo itself. I don't think he had hands on either one of those, which are notorious logos in themselves. He did, I believe, actually design the Bashers one for his fishing brand. Alongside that, he's had his history with the Xbox plates and the spray painting those. A few rare people out there do have those original items. Alongside that, we know his spray painting habits with the old house and the old projects. We know his history with design and artistry, and he's very good at it. And at the very least, let's point out this, guys, there is no other organizational upper management and former owner of an esports org who has this much experience in design and artistry as Hector does. So when it comes to a design he has now released and had a hand in, he actually does state in his latest vlog he actually was talking to a designer to bring his vision to life, that being this brand new logo, the Huntsman, the 2 axes, which people think is a bit underwhelming, and I'm just left wondering, why do we care too much, right? And we do have the Founders Edition of the logo apparently going to be in orange. Their traditional colors, though, will be green, which is, you know, kind of, I don't know if he actually meant that on purpose due to the old OpTic green. Obviously, a much different shade of green here, but if that does pay subtle tribute to the new OpTic, hey, maybe we'll find out in the future. Either way, I don't think it's necessarily a bad logo. I'm not out here saying it's a great logo, but compared to other Call of Duty logos out there, first of all, no other owners. Jack Etienne, Hastro, again, this is to best of my knowledge. Maybe they did have a hand in it that I don't know about. Guys like Steve from Liquid, they're not going to have a hand in ever designing these kind of logos. So to me, the fact, if you're an NRG fan and a Hector fan, the fact that he had some sort of say in vision in what this logo did become adds a bit more value sentimentally to what it actually did become. I do understand, though, if you're not an OpTic fan, a Hecz fan, an NRG fan, why this might be a bit of a letdown. But again, compared to what logos out there, I think when we look at the best logos, I like LA Gorillas. I like the LA OpTic logo because it's the OpTic logo. I like the Dallas Empire, and I like this Huntsman logo pretty well. Besides that, there aren't too many that I'm like, whoa, that is crazy. I think the bigger issue that I really want to talk about and again, I haven't really talked about logos ever on this channel. Never thought I would. The last time I talked about a logo was the Houston Outlaws logo, because by the way, some kid wore that logo on a shirt to middle school, and he got told to take it off because of the guns that represent the bull on that logo. This is the last time and probably the only time I'll be talking about logos on this show. I think the weirdest part about all of this that bothers me the most is as soon as you start to actually catch on to an org's logo, that being NRG, right? When they first announced this Globo Gym-like thing, I didn't like it. But it kind of grew on me, and all of a sudden you look across their CSGO, their Call of Duty, their Overwatch teams, every single team being city-based or the original logo itself, they each have their own logo, and it's like, holy crap. I mean, what am I even looking at? There are so many different merch drops from every single team now, it almost makes every logo a bit anticlimactic because there's just too much. There are so many logos, so much merch out there currently when it comes to esports. It's tough because I think we all hold ourselves, or at least hold organizations, to a bit of a higher standard now because there is so much oversaturation of all these merch drops on sweatpants, on long sleeve, short sleeve, on jerseys, on sweatshirts, on whatever the heck it is. It's really tough to keep up. And I think additionally, when it comes to this NRG Chicago Huntsman logo, because it was Hector and he had a hand in it, people held him to even a higher regard based off his old history with this kind of stuff. Either way, I don't think it's that big of an issue. If you guys did enjoy this, feel free to drop a like or a comment. If you didn't, I totally understand. I didn't ever think I'd be talking about esports logos and their backlash for a news episode, but I could not understand the amount of hate and somewhat disrespect towards Hector and the brand because their logo was underwhelming. I don't think it's necessarily anything different from what we've seen across the entire league. Not the best, not the worst. And that's about it. Until next time, I hope you guys all enjoy. I'll be back here all day long breaking down probably more interesting esports news for all of you. Until then, take care. All right, homies. Bye.